Hello, I'm George Alexander, and welcome to White Crane Speed and Evasion Volume 8. On this particular presentation, we're going to bring you push hands, which is a sensitivity and strength training drill, and actually indeed combative strength to make you stronger for your sparring, etc., make you a better martial artist. Also, Yakusoku Kumite, which are prearranged sparring drills. And those actually bridge the gap between kata and actual sparring. So they have great value, and I think you'll find they're a terrific training aid. So let's get started. I'd like to now take you through the Yakusoku Kumites. Now, on some DVDs earlier in this series, we covered some of this, but I want to cover it a little bit more in depth this time and bring you and the expanded version of this. There's about 4 of these at this point. Yakusoku Kumite means prearranged sparring, and it's a great way to bridge the gap between basics and kata practice and actual sparring. So this way you get to work with a partner instead of solo, develop your timing and how do you fit together and all these sort of things. So, hey. Oh yeah! So the first one, this is number 1, Shodan or Ichi, whatever you want to call that. Hey, dozo. Okay, what happens is Ray or bow to your opponent first. We're going to go back the other way. So I'm going to front kick, and he's going to do what we call paint the fence. Okay, if you remember Daniel-san, painting the fence, right? That's what this is. Hey, 1, 2. Okay, one more of those. Hey, boom. Now the tide of battle shifts again. He does a front kick. I'm going to block like this, but let's examine this block real quickly here so that we understand what we're doing. You're not trying to stiff arm. Your neck and shoulder bifurcates, or where they actually come together or separate, depending on how you look at it. So you've got a nerve plexus in here. So this strike, all right, is part of your counterattack to, boom, a little shock wave to then set up your knee strike counterattack. So you strike this, be careful, don't hit him too hard. Grab a hole. Remember this rule? Never interlace your fingers. If your cameraman can get a nice tight shot of that. You do not want to do this because for several reasons. One reason is it's hard to get your fingers apart. If someone ever grabs you that way, you're trapped. He's trapped both hands. You can't move for a second in time. So anytime you do this, you're just going to bring your hands together like that. Okay, knee strike to the solar plexus or the pit of the stomach. Okay, jam that. Now, next move is you're going to drive forward and then palm heels like a tiger style, like that, to push him away. That's it, then step back. Okay. I'd like to now introduce to you Yakusoku Kumite Nidan, or number 2 here. And what you're going to see is there, if you haven't looked at these in one of our earlier DVDs in the series, is that they're all based on the same little pattern here and just sort of expand themselves with little variations and things. So here's the next one. Hey, dozo. Hey! Hoya! Aisha! Hey! Yeah. Hoya! Aish! Oh yeah! Hoya! Saya! Saya! Notch coupled with Osotogari. Hoya! Now you got him. Hiya! On this section of the DVD, we're going to go over what's called kakie in Japanese, or chisao in Chinese. Basically means push hands. These are 2 hand drills that get you to work back and forth with a partner to apply some of these techniques. And you'll see what's going to happen is I'm going to hook back like this, and then I'm going to go either press forward like that, and then he's going to come back and forth. See, so that is our basic drill, just to kind of get some sensitivity going on here. Now, what happens is there's all sorts of things you can do with this thing. So one thing you can do is to start to move around a little bit, see? You can start to do this kind of a thing, right, like this. Then you work in a circle, like that, right? Kind of looks like Pagua there for a second. Okay, so basically this pressing, I press, how to grab across and work that wrist lock like that, okay? Another one you can do is the inside wrist lock, teaching you to basically go like this. Okay, so now let's keep going around like that. Let's turn. Another way is, let's try to work one of our little throwing techniques like a Tayatoshi or something, just very gently like this. Come in here and then step, and look at, down he goes. So it's teaching us. Back to Okinawa for a second. Let's get back to Kakie, more get back towards the Okinawan roots as opposed to going off too much into the Chinese realm. Here's another one that you can do. This is Kakete Uke, right? This hooking block. And then he sort of comes back and hooks on me, and then I kind of come down like that. See, I'm working the bicep muscle now. And look at, I'm working deltoid and lats, kind of like this. So go. All right, so see, we're kind of going to go back like that. This is very forceful so that you can get a lot of strength going on here. So this is a different deal, right? This is very forceful. Now we're going to work on lots of strength that way. Hey, arigato. Next thing we're going to work on, this is called kame. These are jars, and they're used to develop grip strength. Right, so if you look in some of the kata, like the Goju Ryu kata or Hakutsuru Kempo, which is a white crane system, along the same idea of Nahate, etc., you'll notice that one of the movements in that kata is to do this, grab, and then two punches like that. So what's happening is you're blocking, you're doing an esophagus squeeze, grabbing your opponent's like that, and then just crushing his esophagus. Well, that requires some measure. Right, so what we want to do is get this going on so we have more grip strength, basically. Grab a hold of one hand. And we're just going to do one hand like that. Again, we're kind of working the punching deal with the deltoid muscle, etc., like this. Just working like that in a big circle, like that. You'll find that's fairly difficult to do. Okay, both sides. Got to do both sides. I'd like to show you one more training device. And this is kind of a kung fu thing, but you could use it for your karate training, hand conditioning as well. And this is actually iron this way, and then chop like that, okay? Then punch, and then the last one is called dote, which is like a finger strengthening like this. So basically the whole combination looks like this.